myself Dr. Pai. In this video, you are going to learn measures of central tendency. The few questions which arise in our mind are: what is central tendency, when it is used, and how to obtain the central tendency. So let me answer the second question first. When you are given number of data and you want to analyze this data, then we require some mathematical tool or mathematical expression by which we can analyze this data. And such mathematical tool is central tendency. Now, second question, what is central tendency? The central tendency provides us a single number or figure which represents all the data. That means by representing only one data instead of all data, one can understand that all the data are clustered or scattered around this number. So that is central tendency. That means all data are centered around this value. Third question, how to obtain central tendency? So there are three measures by which you can find out the central tendency. First is mean, second median, and third is mode. To reduce the length of these videos, I have covered only mean in this video. Remaining two, median and mode, I will explain in another videos. Now let us understand this mean thoroughly by considering the various examples. Now before we go to the examples, we need to understand in how many ways data can be available. So the data which are available can be divided into two categories. First category is ungrouped data. And second category is group data. So let us understand this ungrouped data and group data by example. So first of all, I will take the example of ungrouped data. So let me take the example of the batsman who has scored the runs in last 5 matches. So suppose the batsman has scored 50, 40, 30, 10 and 20 runs in last 5 matches, then we can categorize this data as the ungrouped data. Here we can represent our 50 as x1, 40 as x2, 30 as x3, x4 and x5. Now let us take the example of group data. So group data are also divided into two categories. In the first category, the data will be given in the manner in which I am drawing the table. Suppose in one row I am taking marks, and in second row I am taking the students. Marks I am taking 20, 30, 40 and students 3, 2 and 5. So what is the meaning of this table? That the 3 students have scored 20 marks, 2 students have scored 30 marks and 5 students have scored 40 marks. So this is called group data. So here marks will represent the xi. That means 20 is x1, 30 is x2, 40 is x3. And students represents the frequency fi. That means 3 students are getting 20 marks. That means 20 is repeated for 3 times. And the repetition here we represent it by frequency. That means repetition. So my 3 represents f1, 2 represents f2 and 5 represents f3. So this is the example of group data. Let us take another example of group data. Suppose instead of this marks, suppose range is given. Suppose range is given. Let us draw over here. So here the range of marks, second row represents the number of students. So instead of direct marks, here we will consider the range. So suppose it is 20 to 30, 31 to 40 and 41 to 50. And suppose 3 students, 4 students and 5 students. What does it mean? This 3 students are getting marks between 21 to 30. 4 students are getting marks between 31 to 40 and 5 students are getting marks between 41 to 50. So this is also the example of grouped data. So in all these types of data, the method to solve the example is different. Suppose what does it mean? Suppose you find out the mean of the ungrouped and grouped data, the methods are different. Basics will remain same, just mathematical formula will be different. Now let us solve our first example. The data is find the mean of the temperature recorded during a week. The temperatures are 38.2, 40.9, 39, 44, 39.6, 40.5 and 39.5. By observing this data, we can say that these data are ungrouped data. So the simple equation we will use to find out the mean of this example. So the equation is x bar x dash is equal to summation from I is equal to 1 to. See how many data are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So I will range from 1 to 7. So I is equal to 1 to 7. Xi divide by 7. Let us add all the data. 38.2 plus 40.9 plus 39 plus 44 plus 39.6 plus 40.5 plus 39.5 divide by 7. If we will perform this addition, you will get 281.3 divided by 7. And answer is 40.2. That means this is the center of tendency in form of mean. That means all these data will cluster or will be distributed around this 40.2 value. So this is the representative of all these data. Now let us solve the second example. Let us read the data. Find the average wages for the construction of the building from the wages paid to different workers. The data is given in form of table. The first row gives us the wages 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500. Second row gives us the number of workers 3, 5, 6, 9 and 2. That means 3 workers are getting 100 rupees, 5 workers are getting 200 rupees, 6 workers are getting 300, 9 workers getting 400 and 2 workers getting 500. And we need to find out the average wages. So we know that this is group data. This is group data. So the method to find out the mean value will be different than what we have solved in previous example. In the previous example, my equation was x bar is equal to summation from I is equal to 1 to n xn divided by n. Here, as we have group data, the equation will be modified. The meaning will remain same, but it will be modified. So, can we interpret this data as like I have to add this 100 for 3 times, 200 for 5 times, 300 for 6 times, 400 for 9 times and 500 for 2 times. So, instead of using only addition, we will add some multiplication also, so that all addition terms can be eliminated. So let us modify this equation for this particular example when the data is group data. Summation I is equal to 1 to, see how many data are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I is equal to 1 to 5. This multiplied by this. 100 multiplied by this means what? 100 is added for 3 times. So let us represent this by some variables. Let us represent our wages by xi and number of workers by fi. F means here frequency. Frequency, that means here number of repetitions. So this will be my x1, this will be my x2, x3, x4 and x5. This will be my f1, f2, f3, f4 and f5. So can we write the equation of mean like summation from I is equal to 1 to 5 xi fi divided by summation from I is equal to 1 to 5 fi. Because how many data are there? 3 plus 5 plus 6 plus 9 plus 2. So these are total number of data. So summation from I is equal to 1 to 5 fi. So to get this xi fi, we will add one more row in this table. So let us redraw this table. So here I am writing xi, here I am writing fi. Let me write over here xi fi. So xi is 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500. Fi are 3, 5, 6, 9 and 2. So let me write third column xi fi as 300, 1000, 1800, 3600 and 1000. According to this equation, we require summation of all xf. That means summation of this column. So if we will add all these values, we will get 7700. This value is nothing but sigma xifi. In this equation, we also require the addition of all f terms, all 5 f terms. So if we will add all these values of fi, we will get 25. This is nothing but sigma fi. So let us substitute these values in this equation. It is 7700 divided by 25. Answer is 308. So here we have found out the mean or average value of the wages for the group data. Now this is our third example. Let us read the data. Following are the number of visitors in 180 days to a zoo. Find the average visitors per day. Here data is given in form of table. First column represents the number of visitors and second column represents number of days. You just check the first column. Here direct numbers are not given, but range is given. That means this table is also categorized in group data. But it is different than the second example. In second example, the direct number was given. Here the range is given. So how we can find out the mean value? Here also we will use the expression x bar is equal to summation from I is equal to 1 to n xi fi divided by summation from I is equal to 1 to n fi. This equation we have already used in the second example. But here we need to find out this xi value from this table. Now let us represent the number of visitors as the xi and number of days as the fi, because this represents the number of repetitions. So here xi is given in form of range, so we cannot use directly into this equation. So how we can obtain this xi? So let us find the third column of xi which can be used in this equation. So for that, what we will do, we will take the average value of this range. See, first range is 1 to 10. So how we will find the average value? 1 plus 10 divided by 2. This will give me 5.5. So the first value of xi based on this range is 5.5. Similarly, in the second term, range is 11 to 20. So with similar logic, we can obtain here 15.5. In third row, we obtain 25.5. For this term, it is 35.5. Here it is 45.5, and here it is 55.5. So now we will use these values of xi in this equation instead of this range. So now example becomes similar to that which we have solved in second example. In fourth column, we will find out xi fi. We will multiply the second values of second column with the third column. So we will obtain 121, 434, 892.5, 1597.5, 1365, 1110. See, in this example, we need summation of xi fi. So we need to add all these xi fi values. So we will get 5520 if we will add all these values. So this is nothing but summation xi fi. We also require summation fi. So we will add the values of this second column. We will get 180. It is nothing but summation fi. So let us substitute these values in this equation. So x bar is equal to 5520 divided by 180. So we will get 30.66. So this is the average number of visitors per day. So in this video, we have understood how to obtain mean value of grouped and ungrouped data. Thank you very much.